back to AutoSens with AutoVision News. We are here at the Michigan Science Center. What has been already an exciting day of ADAS and automotive thought leadership. Now, AutoSens is a best-in-class event that brings together the ADAS and autonomous driving community across the globe, and the industry experts that you see and meet here at AutoSens are helping shape the future of mobility. Now, one such expert joining us today is Juergen, who is, well, you've been in a lot of roles, Juergen. Senior executive, you've got a track record of success in application, in sales, product definition, business management, product marketing. So welcome here to AutoSens, welcome here to AutoVision News Live. Start by telling us a little bit about Hoellisch Consulting and what you do.
Really appreciate that one.
Of course.
Yeah, my background is pretty much 30 years in automotive industry.
Sure.
Out of that one, 20 years in the semiconductor area.
Okay.
Till 2012, I was board member and CTO of a German semiconductor company. Right after that one, I started my own company with main focus on everything related to drive assistance system, autonomous drive level 2 to level 5.
Right.
I'm actually advising companies in the OEM tier 1 as well as the software and area for future technology. So basically, I'm currently working on the 2025, 2026 car models right now, including all the sensor technologies and the requirements for that.
Right. So speaking of the requirements and the sensor technologies, when we talk about level 3 plus, level 4, what are some of the challenges and risks when you implement and you go up through these different levels?
Number one risk, or however you're going to call it, burden, is that there is no legislation for that. So right now we have no legislation to really put level 3 cars on the street. We have some certification of level 3 cars that have a limitation down to, let's say, 65 kilometers per hour for some use cases or functions or applications. But the real hurdle, number one, is we have no legislation and we have no agreement even in Europe. This does not even mean we have any agreement in China, in US, or globally. So that's number one. Number two is the sensor set that is currently used right now is basically already technology that is at least 3 to 4 years old. So even if we have these cars running for a couple of years, we're going to have the issue that many of the technologies are several years outdated already. Even today's technology that we are doing for the series production in 2025 and 2026, we have semiconductors that are basically available this year that will go in SOP in 2025, 2026. So we basically need to over-calculate or over-dimension the sensors and the ECUs and everything for these type of cars, because everything will be basically over-the-air updatable. And this brings a bunch of other issues with that one. But we have use cases we cannot even foresee right now. And another very difficult aspect is we have level 2 plus type of cars with some of the level 3, level 4 functions. So not really a complete level 3, level 4 car, but already functions or use cases on that one. I'll give you an example.
Yes, please.
So a typical example is the so-called valet parking. If you look into the entire market, especially in Asia, China is one of the leading areas in that perspective. We have about a 90% acceptance and requirement for valet parking. So basically, you drop your car is looking for the parking lot and parks by itself. A big issue is basically the driver is out there. So it's some kind of a level 4 function because the driver cannot take over anymore. But it's not the full robo-taxi, so not a real level 5 car.
I see what you're saying,
But it's basically a level 2 car because you have just like traffic jam assist and blind spot detection, all these kind of features. Plus on top of that, this one single use case called valet parking. For this valet parking, there is this essential problem that you need to have complete redundant sensors for that one. So you need to have very accurate sensor, you need to have redundant sensors, and you basically need to be aware that when any of the sensor is not working, you get feedback that for whatever reason the car cannot park automatically or has a damaged sensor, or the sensor has a issue with the functionality. You basically need to stop the car, and you need to go to your car and find your car and then park your car by yourself. So the differentiation between level 3, level 4 cars and use cases is still something that is not really well understood for many companies, or even for the users, for the drivers.
Of course.
And the legislation and the sensor set. So we basically need to put like high resolution cameras, very accurate radar in the car to potentially do this valid parking function together with the ultrasonic sensor in the near field. And then over the air update and enabling some of the features. But we don't know exactly how accurate the system needs to be in 2025. So we need to over-dimension all these sensors right now.
You mentioned over-the-air updates, software-defined cars, big topic here at AutoSens, but just a big topic in general in the automotive industry. Juergen, give us your perspective just in general on software-defined cars. What are your thoughts?
Well, tomorrow I'm going to lead the panel discussion on software-defined cars. So software-defined cars is such a big, let's say, name, or such a big phrase. It's basically enabling features and enabling use cases due to software or through software. So basically you can enable additional features that you have not had in your car before, utilizing existing sensor set. Exactly what I mentioned before. So basically you put a lot of sensors in there, maybe some example, 1.3 megapixel move to 8 megapixel camera. Instead of a simple radar, you go to an imaging radar or 4D radar. Because at the end of the day, you want to utilize these sensors by software and get these types of functions or use cases adapted on that one. We have, I'm working about half of my time with companies in Asia, especially in China. China, we had about 120 electric vehicle startup companies founded about 5-6 years ago. In the meantime, we have them running on the street in China. You recently already started selling them in Europe as well. The big layout will run, or the big rollout will start in July this year. They use like cameras, radars, lidars already in the car, pretty much like an Audi A8 type or a Mercedes S-Class type of cars, but they are probably from price significantly lower. Plus the sensor set is in a way that they can do over-the-air update and enable features just by mobile phone app for the next couple of years. So that's where we have a significant, let's say, effort to catch up with them right now.
In terms of consumer acceptance of just higher level ADAS, autonomy, software-defined cars, you mentioned, the Asian market, then you got the US market, the European market. What are the levels of acceptance between different nations right now? What are you seeing?
Actually, it's very simple. The most or the highest acceptance rate is definitely in Asia, for sure.
Yes.
If we have this, let's say, we have some analysis, valid parking and this kind of traffic assist, autopilot. Depending on the use cases, the acceptance is, let's say, somewhere between 60 to 90% in China, where it is about 50 to 60% in Europe, where it is 20 to 30% in America. So to be honest, the acceptance is a little bit lower in America than it is in Europe, and it is significantly higher, especially in it has a good reason. You just need to stop by at one of the big cities there and sit down at a big crossing area, and within an hour you have somebody that just got hit by a car or whatever.
Juergen, in the time that we have left, safety first versus innovation first in autonomous driving. What are your thoughts on that? Safety first versus innovation first?
Very simple answer.
Okay.
Safety first.
Safety first.
I mean,
Okay.
the reason is very simple. I have children. I have a wife. I have
Yes.
parents.
Yes.
If I just think about that, a self-driving car or a car that has no full safety feature implemented will potentially kill my children. No doubt.
Yes.
Safety first.
Safety first.
Yes.
Juergen, from all of us here at AutoVision News and AutoSens, want to thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you very
Enjoy
much.
your lunch, my friend. And we will continue our LinkedIn broadcast. We have a full lineup today and tomorrow yet, but on a bit of a floating clock, just because everybody is busy and back in person for the first time. So thank you for bearing with us as we work on a floating clock today. Our live broadcast on LinkedIn will continue. This is AutoVision News Live at AutoSens Detroit 2022.